Brandon Marshall has been cut by his own request, which just makes the Jets even worse than they already are now. It really does seem like they're trying to start over from scratch and build the thing from the ground up. They're tearing it all down. They're building it up from the ground up. As a Dolphins fan, this is great news for us, and especially anybody else in the AFC East who's looking to get into the playoffs, because Brandon Marshall is a very good wide receiver, and he still is, even though he's actually 32 now. He's still very, very, very good. He's a great red zone threat, a great goal line threat. He's one of the best in the NFL at it. He can be used like a Des Bryant with those fade routes. So now that Brandon Marshall is gone out of the AFC East, where will he land? And I think I have a couple places where I think he'll fit very well. And the first place is the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs obviously are strapped for cap room, but Brandon Marshall has said, quote, I want to play for a contender, which the Kansas City Chiefs were one more wide receiver away, one more offensive playmaker away from making the AFC Championship, and who God only knows what would happen against New England. The Kansas City Chiefs have an outstanding defense, and they've just solidified that with retaining Eric Berry. So who knows what would have happened in that game if they had somebody like Brandon Marshall. I think Andy Reid and Alex Smith, especially Alex Smith, who struggles at times to throw the ball deep, I think this gives him a taller target. Tyreek Hill is someone who obviously is a burner. Brandon Marshall can bring down some bad throws, and we've seen that with Ryan Fitzpatrick. We've seen that with Geno Smith. We've seen that with Bryce Petty. We've seen that with some quarterbacks that aren't nowhere near as good as Alex Smith. And Alex Smith doesn't have the greatest deep ball, so he can pull down those balls that are 50-50 or ducks that maybe have been underthrown. We saw that with him and Chad Henning. The list goes on and on. Brandon Marshall has played with some bad quarterbacks, is my point. So he's going to a contender. I think Andy Reid would be amazed to have him. I think the prima donna act that Brandon Marshall had earlier in his career is totally gone. I don't think he's like that anymore. And I think he wants to go somewhere and win. And if you really think about it, Brandon Marshall's never even went somewhere, that won 10-plus games before in his career, for God's sake. So he's going to a place like Kansas City where they're definitely, if they did do this, I think would solidify them as the best team in the AFC West. So in terms of an NFC team, I think the New York Football Giants need a little bit more firepower in the receiving corps after losing Hope and Victor Cruz. They still have Sterling Shepard and Odell Beckham. Sterling Shepard more of a slot guy. Odell Beckham is a red zone threat anywhere on the field, not just in the red zone. He can score from anywhere on the field. And he's a good 50-50 guy, but not a good goal line guy. I think Brandon Marshall brings that element of he can bring those bad balls down. Eli Manning is famous for throwing some bad deep balls, for God's sake. I mean, just put some tape on. And in a Ben McAdoo system, I think he fits really well. He's really good. And back to the Kansas City thing, he's a really good run blocker, so he fits both of these systems really well. With screens, because they both like to run screens, especially Andy Reid. He would fit really, really well in that offense. So thank God he's gone out of our division. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And who do you think Brandon Marshall fits the best with? And I will see you guys in the next one.